This is not your dream bike build.
There's a pawl in there that just won't engage. There's something wrong with this. I finally found somebody that rides about the same speed as I do. I don't know how this went. I don't even think this is cable housing. I don't even know what this stuff is. Unfortunately, that means I have to take off everything that I just put on. Still having some issues.
I found this GT Palomar at a charity shop in a sea of broken bikes. The bright red color, the old school frame, and the fact that it's a GT meant I had to bring it home. As soon as I got my hands on it, I immediately got excited about upgrades, part swaps, 1x drivetrains, and BMX or sweepy handlebars. The ideas were endless. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that might not be the right approach. This bike doesn't need to be a dream build. At least not yet. The shifters don't work, the stem is on wrong, the tires are rotting, the rusty bar and stem are faded, and the whole thing has a mix of rust, patina, and general neglect. So instead of waiting on parts or making this bike into a perfect resto mod, I'm going to focus on something simpler, getting this old bike working again. After all, that is what this channel is supposed to be about. And when I realized that, I was even more excited to get this bike into the kitchen and onto the stand. Hey everyone, welcome back to Village Bike Kitchen. It's time for another episode of Old Bike Day. This time, we are just going to try to tune this thing up and get it rideable. So let's get started. Normally for a basic tune-up, the first thing I would do would just be drop the tires and start to clean the frame. But we have a choice to make right away, and it's up here in the cockpit. Because these bars are in such terrible shape, I want to do one of three things. One, keep these bars and stem, but take them outside, sand them down, repaint them and re-clear coat them. Or we have a couple other options. These bars have a little rise to them and they're about the right length. That might be nice. And these bars are almost exactly the same as the bars on there currently. Maybe a little more rise and a little better shape, but they still need some work. So what do you think? Okay, I think what I'm going to do is use the original bars. And we'll start with them because while I sand them and paint them, while these bars dry, we can get over to the rest of the bike. So let's try that. Let's make sure this even slides out of here. I do hate to lose these bar ends, but one of them's missing the end cap, and it seems dangerous to ride in that condition.
I'm going to start with the stem and I'm just going to sand it down and get it ready to paint. I don't want to sand past the insertion point. I don't want this to not fit. So we got to be very careful not to go down here.
Preserving the old stem and bars was definitely the right choice for this project. The goal is to get the bike working again, so you might wonder why I'm starting with something aesthetic. But I think there's a difference between upgrading a bike to change what it is or how it looks, and doing a bit of work just to make sure the bike looks cared for again. That's what this part of the job was all about. Okay, I got the bars over here and the stem drying, so while they do that, let's go inside and get back to work, and we'll come out later and give these another coat. This is one of the dirtiest frames I've ever gotten my hands on. It really was a lot to get through, but it was definitely worth it, and it's one of the simplest things you can do to an old frame to just give it new life. And like I said, it's all about making this bike look cared for. The simpler these bikes are, the better they look, so I usually take off all the stuff like this. It's officially an episode of Old Bike Day when I pull out gunk out of the derailleur. it's time to go give the handlebars and stem another coat. And so far the weather's holding up nicely. The whole point of this project is to bring this old bike back to life without changing it too much. Best way you can do that is just get inside all these bits, clean them, grease them, and the bike will run like new. So yeah, that weather did not hold up like I thought, and it started to rain on my drying stem and bars. I had to go rescue them. Alright, I just had some lunch, and I rescued my bars and stem, which were outside when it started to rain. Got those inside. They're just about dry, luckily. And I just wanted to do a quick mid-project check-in. So now I think we'll put the bike back together. The things that still need to be addressed, the shifting is a little wonky. We have to work that out. I've done the headset, that's pretty good, but we've got to make final adjustments to that. I will replace the tires because the rear tire has some dry rot and I'd like the tires to match. But I have to wait for the post to come because they're coming in the mail today. Other than that, this thing should function like a bike in just a little bit. So let's get after it. The stem and bars are dry, so it's time to reassemble the cockpit. And I'm really happy with the way the paint job turned out. Oddly enough, I realized I spent way too much time making sure the bars were perfect, especially at the ends, only to realize, yeah, I'm going to cover up the paint with grips anyways. But I think it brought some life back to the old bike. It looks really sharp, and I'm just pleased with how that turned out. Unfortunately, the rest of the project wouldn't go as smoothly as this paint job did. I cannot get this front shifter to leave first gear, so I'm going to take it apart and see what's going on in there. The easiest way I've seen people fix gunked up shifters is to flood them with degreaser. And that usually works, but it looks like I'm not going to get that lucky this time.
There's a pawl in there that just won't engage. Right here, it won't reach far enough. The only thing I know how to try is to mess with the limit screw and see if the limit screw is just not allowing the shifter to pop out. Let's see if I can show you this. If I pull on the cable, the derailleur does move out far enough. So it's something with the shifter, I think. I think the rear shifter works. Yeah, I had to do some adjustment there, but that one works. We got to figure out this front shifter. I found this other one that I'll probably have to just swap on. It's the same thing. Just to kind of compare how they're wired in there, and it looks to be the same. So I don't know why this one doesn't work, but I can pop this guy on and we should be good. Unfortunately, that means I have to take off everything that I just put on. And it means disconnecting the brakes. Okay, so new shifter and brake lever combo. Right there. Let's see if I can get this cable fed through right. Had to replace the cable. That's okay. Okay, let's see. Cool. Still having some issues. Not sure why. But I'll try to undo what I did to the limit screw, see if that helps. Hey, it works. Alright. Get these brakes back in.
Pay attention to this weird yellow tube here. It's gonna cause us all sorts of issues later.
I don't even think this is cable housing. I don't even know what this stuff is that they put here, but okay.
With the shifting behind me, I moved on to just cleaning up the brakes and the brake posts. This is the ultimate Village Bike Kitchen job. You can't see that I've done anything to the brakes, but when you use the brakes, they feel so much better once you grease the posts here, clean out the springs. It's one of those things you don't see, but you notice when you're riding and you can't tell why it's better. But at the end of the day, doing something like this makes the bike better. And that makes this kind of thing my favorite thing to do.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break. I have to go pick up my kids from school, and my tires aren't here anyways. These are a little dry rotted, so hopefully by the time I get back from picking up the kiddos, the tires will be waiting for me on the porch. I'll put the new tires on the wheels, clean these wheels up a bit, and we will put this bike back together and see where we're at. For me, it'll be a couple hours. For you, it'll be just a couple seconds, so hang in there. Thanks, guys. All right, we're home.
And sure enough, the tires are there waiting for me. You don't need to see me change another tire, do you?
Bike's just about done, but a couple things aren't sitting right with me. One, there's something wrong with this. It's way too loose. No matter what I do, it just doesn't feel right. Then I noticed this isn't actually cable housing. This is just some sort of like rubber tube. And I don't think it belongs over a cable. So I might change out this cable, and I have some yellow housing I can actually use, some real housing. But I think this needs to be not a rubber tube, an actual cable housing, so we're gonna change that out. Another thing, during the grip install, I realized this is cracked. So luckily, I've got a replacement. I cut a piece of yellow housing that's about the same length. So I decided just to put a whole new cable in. Hope that helps. I've rigged up this little piece of yellow housing. Hopefully this guides everything where it needs to go. This cable's too short. I gotta go find another one. That took a few tries, but we got it. And it doesn't rub. Okay, that should do it. Honestly, I don't know how I feel. I need to go take it outside and spin it around the driveway and see how it goes. A lot of little weird things went wrong on this tune-up, but I think we've made it rideable, and that was the goal. So let's go outside, get some close-ups, and then take it for a small spin. I finally found somebody that rides about the same speed as I do. All right, does it shift? Sort of.
Today the goal was to take an unrideable mess that was buried under a pile of old steel and turn it into a fun, usable bike. Mission accomplished. But I wanted to do it the Village Bike Kitchen way. That meant doing the thankless, invisible jobs that actually make the bike work. Jobs like re-greasing the headset, cleaning the brake posts, and digging grime out of the canty springs are not as exciting on camera as a flashy upgrade or a new set of chrome bars, but these jobs are more important to how the bike feels. Still, I managed to shine it up a bit with new tires and a fresh paint job for the bars and stem. The bike kept its character, and now it looks cared for too. I am happy with the mix of aesthetic improvements and practical maintenance that went into this project. So the bike is done. if any bike is ever really done. But who knows what the future holds. The more I stare at this thing, the more ideas I might get. Thanks for watching, everybody.